King Von and Lil Durk, an inseparable bond forged in the famous Chicago South Side, a brotherhood marked by shared dreams.
We off the block. It's just like how we is, where we from. We all real close.
And like, if he was still alive and he was here, it'd be scary for a lot of.
But sadly, nothing is made to last forever. In this video, we'll explore the last 24 hours of Lil Durk before King Von's death. Their story unfolds with their friendship, capturing the essence of two rising stars chasing their dreams against all odds. Lil Durk and King Von's relationship, O-Block. In the heart of Chicago, this complex has seen its fair share of history. It was built way back in the 1950s. Run by a dedicated team of black professionals, this 13-acre haven provided quality, affordable housing at a time when such a thing was hard to come by. But, like the pages of a story, its ownership changed over the years. It went from cooperative hands to the management of the Department of Housing and Urban Development, and then into the embrace of private owners. Unfortunately, this shift had a negative impact, with maintenance and modernization taking a back seat. As a result, crime began to rear its ugly head, affecting the lives of the 2,000 people who called this place home. They started calling it O-Block after an incident in 2011 when 20-year-old O.D. Perry lost his life to a rival gang's bullets. Between 2011 and 2014, this area saw 19 such tragedies, making it the most dangerous block in Chicago for shootings during that time. But it wasn't all doom and gloom. In 2014, Parkway Garden Homes earned recognition for a remarkable transformation. The Chicago Neighborhood Development Awards celebrated the renovation that brought new life to all 694 units without displacing a single resident. Kitchens, bathrooms, laundry facilities, and more got a much-needed makeover. Even the surroundings received a facelift with refurbished playgrounds, fresh sidewalks, and vibrant gardening spaces. Efforts to combat crime and nurture the community have been ongoing. Regular meetings are held by organizations like the Metropolitan Tenants Organization, the Shriver Center, and HUD. Partnerships have formed with the Chicago Police Department, local churches, and Alderman Willie Cochran's office. To keep the flames of education burning bright, a $5,000 college scholarship is awarded to a Parkway Gardens resident each year. Despite the crime, O-Block is renowned for being the childhood residence of some of Chicago's biggest artists, including Chief Keef, Fredo Santana, Lil Durk, and King Von.
We off the block. It's just like how we is, where we from. We all real close, like, you see what I'm saying? So it's just one of the guys. He just happened to be rapping. He figured out what he do.
Lil Durk signed King Von to his record label Only the Family in 2018, following the release of Von's breakthrough track, Crazy Story. Since then, the two worked together numerous times, and they were set to release a mixtape together called Evil Twin until Von's death in November 2020. Lil Durk started his label OTF in 2010. OTF is like a melting pot of talent, housing several Chicago drill recording artists. At one point, it even had the honor of being associated with French Montana's Coke Boys, earning the catchy moniker OTF Coke Boys. This collaboration led to OTF members making appearances on the Coke Boys album. But as time passed, OTF spread its wings and became independent from the Coke Boys label. These days, they're in cahoots with Empire Distribution, except for the man himself, Lil Durk. In 2018, he signed with Alamo Records and Interscope Records, breaking free from his Def Jam Recordings contract. Sony Music later took the reins of Alamo Records in June 2021, which means Lil Durk's releases under Alamo are now distributed by Sony. OTF has dropped compilation albums like Only the Family Involved, Volume 1 inch in 2018, followed by Volume 2 inches later that year. Family Over Everything came in 2019, and Loyal Brothers hit the scene in 2021, reaching the 12th spot on the charts. Now they're keeping the momentum going with Loyal Bros 2, released in December 2022, which climbed to number 37 on the charts. That's OTF for you, making waves in the hip-hop scene. With Von was signed to OTF, he and Durk's music relationship blossomed as the duo shared the studio booth on multiple occasions, including the remix of Von's track Crazy Story. The song was released on May 3rd, 2019, as a single pulled from Von's first mixtape, Grandson Volume 1. The track serves as a sequel to Crazy Story and a teaser for Crazy Story Part 3. The track keeps the same beat as the original, produced by McFly. The song peaked at number 81 on the US Billboard Hot 100. Plus, it earned some serious bling, going $3 platinum in the United States, with over 3 million certified units sold. But away from the music scene, Durk and Von also found themselves in legal trouble together. Durk and Von faced charges including attempted murder, aggravated assault, a gang charge, and a couple of firearms charges. This was due to their involvement in a shooting incident that occurred outside the Atlanta club Varsity on February 5th, 2019. Lil Durk had turned himself in shortly after the charges were filed in May 2019. At that time, he even self-released a song titled Turn Myself In, where he addressed what he considered a false accusation. The court held a probable cause hearing on June 14th, 2019. The Atlanta police detectives presented some heavy claims, alleging that they possessed video evidence showing Lil Durk firing a weapon on February 5th while driving near the Varsity Restaurant in Atlanta, as reported by WSB-TV. The judge, after a thorough review, ruled that there was indeed probable cause to charge both Lil Durk and King Von, with a total of 5 felony charges. As a consequence, Durk and Von were left behind bars. A victim of the shooting was Alexander Weatherspoon, who suffered a gunshot wound to the thigh and was rushed to the hospital. Prosecutors alleged that Durk was involved in a prior robbery of Weatherspoon, which netted $30,000, jewelry, and the victim's vehicle, all leading up to the shooting. In response to these charges, Lil Durk declared his innocence in a statement to WSB-TV, emphasizing, "I have nothing to hide. I have nothing to run from." He even released a track to express his side of the story, where he rapped about his innocence and the challenges he faces in the legal battle. Durk was released from jail after several weeks on a $250,000 bond, while Von was freed on a $300,000 bond. As fate would have it, on October 22nd, 2022, Lil Durk was finally cleared of the attempted murder charges that had been looming over him since a 2019 shooting incident in Atlanta, Georgia. Georgia's Superior Court of Fulton County stepped in, issuing a motion to dismiss these charges. District Attorney Fannie T. Willis weighed in, stating, "The facts of this case have been reviewed, and although it appears that probable cause existed for the defendant's arrest, the decision of the district attorney at this time is not to prosecute." Lil Durk's attorney, Manny Aurora, expressed his joy and relief at the outcome, saying, "While it took 3 long years for the state to make the right decision, in the end, the right decision was made, and Mr. Banks can finally put this event behind him." In 2020, the year following his arrest and eventual release, King Von embarked on a significant musical journey, one that would ultimately lead to the creation of his very first studio album. This venture marked a turning point in his career. The journey began with the release of the single Why He Told on July 27, 2020, accompanied by a music video on YouTube. He followed this up with the single All These featuring Durk. Unfortunately, Lil Durk couldn't make an appearance in the video due to legal reasons from the 2019 arrest. Despite the absence, the video still managed to rack up an impressive 24 million views in just 2 months on YouTube. Continuing the momentum, King Von dropped another single titled How It Go, along with an accompanying music video on August 26, 2020. Things were heating up. On October 9, 2020, King Von released I Am What I Am, featuring New York rapper Fivio Foreign. Just 2 weeks later, he dropped Gleesh Place, along with another music video on his official channel. This release set the stage for the grand debut of Welcome to O Block, which hit the music scene on October 30th, 2020. The 16-track album was a collaborative effort featuring production from Chop Squad DJ, Tay Keith, Wheezy, and Hitmaka, among others. It also boasted guest appearances from artists like Prince Dre, Lil Durk, Dreezy, and Moneybagg Yo. Notably, the album included the track The Code, a collaboration with Polo G, accompanied by a music video. Welcome to O Block made waves on the charts, peaking at number 5 on the Billboard US Top 200 albums, claiming the top spot for top R&B/hip-hop albums and top independence albums, and reaching 12th place on the top 100 Canadian albums chart. In interviews, King Von spoke about his vision for this project, emphasizing the growth and improvement he sought to achieve. Sadly, Von passed away just 1 week after the album's release. In his memory, several music videos, including Wayne's Story, Armed and Dangerous, Mine 2, and Demon, were released posthumously. The death of King Von.
See, Von was like, he was different though. Like, Von was Von before we made him Von to the world. And like, if he was still alive and he was here, it'd be scary for a lot of
King Von was killed in a shooting incident in Atlanta on the morning of November 6, 2020. The Atlanta Police Department revealed that the shooting occurred outside the Monaco Hookah Lounge, resulting in 3 deaths and 3 individuals sustaining injuries. The event arose from an altercation between 2 groups, prompting the intervention of both off-duty uniformed police officers working security at the lounge and an on-duty patrol officer nearby. During this encounter, shots were fired, but fortunately, the officers themselves were unharmed. Paramedics rushed 3 suspects to the hospital, while 3 others made their own way there. Additionally, 2 suspects were detained at the scene. Von and his group had gotten into a fight with rapper Quando Rondo's group outside the lounge at about 2:15 a.m. Von was shot many times as the argument suddenly turned violent. He was taken to a hospital in critical condition, where he later passed away. The police investigation suggests that he was shot during the initial exchange of gunfire between the 2 groups before the police arrived to intervene. Von was not found at the scene. He had made his way to the hospital independently. The music industry mourned the loss of Von King Von's manager, who survived being shot, confirmed that Von had been shot and did not survive. In a subsequent development, the Atlanta Police Department announced on November 8, 2020, that they had secured arrest warrants for 22-year-old rapper Lil Tim, whose real name is Timothy Leaks. Tim was charged with felony murder in connection with Von's shooting. King Von's career was on the brink of a major breakthrough, with the recent release of his third album, Welcome to O Block, just a week before his tragic passing. He had a remarkable journey, beginning his rap career while incarcerated on a murder charge at the age of 19. This was long before the 2019 incident, but these charges were eventually dropped. The rap community has come together to pay heartfelt tributes to King Von in the wake of his passing. Chance the Rapper expressed his disbelief, tweeting, "Wow, this year was so tough. Rip Von, God bless him and his family, I can't believe it." Polo G shared on Instagram, "Was a real one and a good-hearted fascio RIP." Rapper Omarion also joined in to honor King Von, saying, "Rest in power, King Von. I seen the potential. I heard a few songs, but more than that, I seen him breaking bread with his family. I respect that. I connect with that." Chop Squad DJ posted a heartfelt tribute on Instagram, writing, "RIP my best friend. Every moment meant something, and to grow with, you made me feel like I was a real producer. I love you, bro." Many other prominent figures in the music industry, including YG, ASAP Mob, and Corday, also shared their condolences. King Von's publicist released a statement confirming the news of his passing. He shared how King Von grew up in Chicago's O Block neighborhood and emerged from challenging circumstances to become a promising music star. King Von was recognized as a gifted storyteller and an artist on the cusp of superstardom. Despite facing numerous challenges, he remained devoted to giving back to his community. But through the news and tributes, the way Lil Durk learned of his childhood friend's untimely death was both shocking and heartbreaking. As news of King Von's passing began to circulate, Lil Durk was in the midst of an Instagram live session. Durk was playfully engaging with his fans, rapping along to Pooh Shiesty's Back in Blood, a track that featured Lil Durk himself. However, the mood took a drastic turn as fans began to flood the comments section with messages like, "Von just got shot," and "King Von got shot." Initially, Durk held his phone above his head, showing off the company he was with while in a moving vehicle. But as the reality of the messages started to sink in, Lil Durk abruptly ended the live session. The bond between Lil Durk and King Von ran deep, rooted in their shared upbringing in Chicago's O Block neighborhood. So finding out about Von's death on IG Life had to have been heartbreaking for the Durk. Lil Durk later used Instagram to express his sorrow over the passing of King Von. "My twin is dead." The Chicago rapper wrote, "I love you, baby bro. D. Roy." This message was posted next to a picture of Von. Two of the shooting victims had lost their lives, King Von and 34-year-old Mark Blackley. The alleged shooter, Lil Tim, sustained a gunshot wound and was placed in custody at Grady Memorial Hospital while receiving treatment. While the murder investigation for King Von's death was closed, authorities still worked to determine the cause of Blackley's death and the shooting of the other victims, given that both on-duty and off-duty Atlanta police officers responded and discharged their weapons. The Georgia Bureau of Investigation handled the examination of the officers' use of force, which is a standard procedure in the police force. It was unclear if the police gunfire injured anyone, and the investigation aimed to verify which individuals were hit by the suspect's gunfire and whether any were struck by the officers' shots. King Von's manager, Jameson Francois, stated in interviews that he was grazed by a bullet during the gun battle and alleges that most of the bullets came from the police. However, Atlanta police contend that the fatal shots that killed King Von did not come from them, maintaining that the rapper was shot during the initial confrontation between the groups before police arrived. Furthermore, King Von was not found at the scene, but arrived at the hospital shortly after the shooting in a private vehicle. Lil Tim was charged with killing King Von on November 7th, 2020. However, due to injuries he received the night of the shooting, he wasn't placed into Fulton County Jail until November 19th, 2020. By March 2021, Lil Tim was freed after posting a $100,000 bail. In August 2023, Lil Tim had the felony murder charges related to the November 2020 shooting of King Von dropped. Tim's lawyer, Noah Pines, confirmed this development in a statement to XXL, noting that the case against his client was dismissed before ever going to indictment. Tim was arrested and charged the day after King Von's tragic shooting in Atlanta, Georgia. In April 2021, Quando Rondo offered his perspective on the events of November 6, 2020. The night rapper King Von was killed in Atlanta. In a multi-part interview with The Breakfast Club's Angela Yee, Quando Rondo shared his account of the physical altercation between his crew and King Von's, which ultimately led to the gunfight. Quando explained that he initially decided not to enter the club and planned to sleep in a car while Lil Tim went inside. However, Lil Tim insisted that Quando shouldn't sleep in the car, and they decided to wait by the vehicle. According to Quando, they were standing near a high-end car, waiting for their friends to park. Quando intended to get in the back seat and rest once they arrived. He believed his friend would protect him while he slept. As Quando continued with his account, he described letting a group of people pass by, thinking they were regular individuals. However, a sudden altercation occurred, and Quando was struck. The rapper described the strike as an out-of-body experience. Reports had initially surfaced suggesting that Quando Rondo was asleep in the car when King Von's crew approached. Quando explained that he woke up and exited the car, where he encountered King Von, who he perceived as an aggressor that night. It was during this encounter that Lil Tim allegedly shot King Von. Reports indicated that Quando and his crew acted in self-defense. In the interview, Quando Rondo also expressed that he was unaware of any tension between himself and Von's friend and label leader Lil Durk. Quando mentioned that he believed there was a positive relationship between them. Lil Durk since King Von's death. On December 24, 2020, almost 2 months after Von's death, Lil Durk's album, The Voice, was released. The project dropped under the banners of Only the Family, Alamo Records, and Geffen Records, featuring a lineup of notable artists such as the late King Von, Black, Young Thug, YNW Melly, and Booka 600. The album immediately garnered attention. In a deluxe edition released on January 29, 2021, Durk added 12 more tracks, including collaborations with Lil Baby, Pooh Shiesty, and Sydney August. This album represents Durk's last project with Geffen Records, Alamo's parent label, which was acquired by Sony Music in June 2021. Consequently, the album's distribution shifted away from Geffen Records in July 2021. The title, The Voice, was more than just an album name. It was a long-standing nickname for Lil Durk himself. He teased this release with a social media post on August 28, 2020, showcasing the title track. Interestingly, he had originally planned to drop new music on the same day as 6ix9ine's second studio album, Tattletales, amid their feud. However, the album's deeper significance lies in its tribute to his late friend King Von. The impact of his passing had led Lil Durk to temporarily deactivate all his social media accounts. He only returned to announce the release of Backdoor on December 20th, 2020. As a tribute, the album cover featured a picture of Durk and Von together. The album's singles included the title track, released with a music video on September 4th, 2020, as well as Stay Down, a collaboration with Black and Young Thug, accompanied by a music video on October 30th, 2020. The third single, Backdoor, debuted with a music video on December 21st, 2020. The Voice received a mixed reception from music critics. Some praised the album's moments of departure from its usual style, while others found some tracks to be somewhat interchangeable. In terms of commercial performance, The Voice made an impressive debut on the US Billboard 200 chart, entering at number 46. In its second week, the album climbed to number 3 on the chart, earning an additional 66,000 units. The deluxe edition release boosted sales significantly, with the album moving 87,000 units. This achievement marked Lil Durk's third appearance in the top 10 of the US charts. The album continued its strong performance, reaching number 2 in its third week and eventually holding its position at number 5 in its fourth week. But Von's death wasn't the only one Durk would have to mourn. In June 2021, tragedy struck the family of Durk. His brother, Dante Banks, known as D-Thang in the music world, fell victim to a shooting at a strip club in South Suburban Harvey. The incident also resulted in the injury of a police officer, and authorities were exploring the possibility of a related shooting later that day. The chaotic scene unfolded at Club O, where multiple gunshots were fired and numerous weapons were discovered in the early hours of Sunday. Just before the shooting that claimed D-Thang's life, a Harvey police officer had already heard gunfire and observed an individual armed with a gun inside the club. As an altercation escalated, more shots rang out, and the officer was struck in the thigh during the chaos. It remained unclear whether the officer had returned fire, and investigators were uncertain about the motive behind the shooting targeting the officer. The officer was later reported to be in good condition. Approximately 500 feet away, 32-year-old D-Thang was shot in the head amid the turmoil. The circumstances of his passing were described by Harvey spokeswoman Giovanni Nixon, who stated that Banks was caught in the crossfire as multiple shots were exchanged. Later, at around 2 a.m. on the same morning, another individual was killed in what is believed to be a potential retaliation shooting. Responding to a shooting victim on 155th St., authorities found Seneca Price, age 39, who was transported to South Suburban Hospital in Hazelcrest, where she was pronounced dead from a gunshot wound. In addition to Von and D-Thang, Durk's cousin MacArthur Swindle, known as OTF Nunu, also fell victim to a shooting in Chatham back in 2014. Losing a close friend and a brother in the space of 8 months is not something anyone should have to face, but somehow Durk has kept pushing, steadily growing his music career over the past 3 years. On August 14th, 2020, Lil Durk made a significant move by collaborating with Canadian rapper Drake on the single Laugh Now Cry Later. The track debuted impressively, hitting number 2 on the Billboard Hot 100 chart. This marked a pivotal moment in Durk's career, granting him his first top 40 and top 10 entry and standing as his highest charting song up to that point. Just 2 weeks later, on August 28, 2020, Lil Durk set the stage for an upcoming project he called The Voice. This project would eventually become his 6th studio album. The title track, The Voice, was released as the album's lead single, accompanied by a music video on September 4, 2020. In the following year, Durk made notable guest appearances on other artists' projects. He joined Kanye West on the song Jonah, featured on West's 10th studio album, Donda, which dropped on August 29, 2021. Interestingly, Durk's contribution, like other guest appearances on the album, went uncredited. He also appeared on Drake's 6th studio album, Certified Lover Boy, in the song In the Bible, released on September 3, 2021. Fast forward to February 22, 2022. Lil Durk treated fans to a new single titled Aha, produced by Southside. Initially, he had planned to release his 7th studio album, 7220, on the same day. However, the album's release was pushed back to March 11th. The album boasted 17 tracks and featured guest appearances from the likes of Future, Gunna, Summer Walker, and Morgan Wallen. Unfortunately, a significant setback occurred in Durk's career on July 31, 2022. During his performance at the Lollapalooza Music Festival in Chicago, an explosive pyrotechnic struck his head, resulting in injuries to his face and right eye. Subsequently, Durk announced that he would be suspending his performances and recording activities to recover from these injuries. In 2023, following his appearance on the cover of XXL, Lil Durk gave an interview in which he teased the release of his 8th studio album, originally planned as a sequel to The Voice. He explained that the 2.0 inches in the title signified growth in various aspects, both musically and personally, including his involvement in charity work and community initiatives. However, on May 5th, Durk surprised fans by revealing that the album's title had changed to Almost Healed. The album dropped on May 26th, featuring a star-studded lineup of guest artists such as Alicia Keys, J. Cole, Chief Wook, Future, 21 Savage, Kodak Black, Rob 49, The Late Juice WRLD, and Morgan Wallen. The lead single, All My Life, featuring J. Cole, hit the scene on May 12th, debuting and peaking at number 2 on the Billboard Hot 100, marking Durk's highest charting song as a lead artist. The second single, Pellet Coat, was released on May 25th, along with the promotional single Therapy Session, a collaboration with Alicia Keys. The former song entered the Hot 100 at number 35. Almost Healed itself made a strong debut, entering the Billboard 200 chart at number 3. Durk also shared his plans to release a new album soon, featuring 13 tracks, after his previous solo albums had a few more tracks and longer runtimes. What a way to bounce back from multiple tragedies. Click the card showing on your screen for more videos like this one.